Hello everyone, and welcome back to my 100% guide for Mega Man X1. Now, let's take a few minutes to talk about the different orders people play the game in. For absolute starters, they'll typically choose Chill Penguin and then go on to one of the guys at the bottom, Spark Mandrill, and then they'll just sort of go along the path, targeting the different weaknesses that bosses suffer from. The problem with this, however, is that Boomer Kuwanger, the guy weak to Octopus's weapon, well, his weapon disables a lot of Octo's more obnoxious attacks, and Octopus's actual weakness does a horrible job of fighting him, and Octopus is the harder of the two, so the better order is Boomer then Octopus. And the other thing is that Storm Eagle's weapon is really powerful, and you get the arm upgrade from Flame Mammoth's stage. So what most guys do is they do Chill Penguin, Storm Eagle, then Flame Mammoth, then Boomer, and then Octopus, and then get the armor from Sting Chameleon. The problem with that, however, is that there's a re-armed achievement that you get from getting an arm upgrade from Zero instead of Flame Mammoth. So we are not going to be getting the arm upgrade as we usually would. And the problem with that is that the arm upgrade is the only way to get the Heart, Tank, and Boomer's stage without having to revisit the stage again. So to get around that, I am going to be showing you one of the most famous tricks in the game, the Iceless Heart or Iceless Jump. And joining me to see how that all plays out is Skyzo. How you doing, buddy?
Hello YouTube, I'm doing well.
Alright, now, before we get to the Iceless Heart trick itself, I want to show you something. Now, this is the way a beginner plays the game. They're all very slow, they're all very methodical, and there's a lot of bulky enemies, so you can waste a lot of time just standing around trying to tag these guys one at a time before moving on. Then you've got those dodgy little cannons on the wall, too. Very annoying, that. And then we've got this tricky spot where we have to sort of try to get that thing over there, and then sort of bait out a swing, and then very quickly climb down the ladder and get him, and it's just very annoying. You see that, right, Skyzo?
Yeah, it looks like it requires a lot of patience.
Yeah. Then, of course, we've got this laser tripwire section where you're trying to get that thing flying around, but you have to make sure not to go in the wrong spot, and this is just not efficient, nor is it easy. So instead, I am going to show you how experts play the game. Or, at the very least, guys that played X5 and X6 and just got really tired of getting kicked around by everything. Instead, we're just going to run through everything with the dash boots that we got from Chill Penguin, like so. Alley-oop. And then we're just gonna run through everything, because even if we take a little damage, I mean, it's like 2 bars, come on, and the game checkpoints you.
That was very clean.
Indeed. And of course we've got more bulky enemies, so just wait out their grenades and there you go. Easy. And then for this, you've got instant death spikes, but if you go all the way to the left, you can sort of circumvent all of them and use the shotgun ice to knock it back into all the flying enemies. That's another easy trick. But yeah, I remember when I tried to introduce my friends, one of her main problems was, one, I didn't give her guidance on which guy to tackle first, so she was trying all these stages without the dash boots. And then there was just all these really bulky enemies, and her thumb would just get tired from mashing that attack button.
It would be very convenient if you could just press and hold the button and it would just fire a stream of bullets.
I think they have something like that in the later games, but anyway, the Iceless Heart. Now, without any of the arm upgrade or the boomer weapon, I have to do this. Careful, careful. Make sure we get the right height and hold the jump button all the way until you're about to get it, at which point you let go real quick, press it again, and there you go. Looks easy, but it's actually much harder than it looks. So, first what you need to know is that the longer you press the jump button, the higher X goes, and he does a full height jump. But if I just tap the button, it's not a very long jump at all, it's very short. The very first problem I ran into when I was practicing that trick was I would press that jump button, but I would let go too quickly. And it's so precise that you don't want that. Now, the second thing you have to learn is that you have to bounce off the walls from very far away. If you just slide and jump, you get a spark deep inside the wall like that, and you won't get the distance you need. But if you do it from far away, you get a spark sort of halfway outside the wall, and that's what you want. That's another thing you'll have to practice. Any questions thus far?
Well, not really, although those tricks seem a little precise.
They are. And if you're not able to imitate this, don't worry. All you lose is a few minutes revisiting Boomer's stage again with his weapon. But anyways, this spot is what you want, where the spark is sort of halfway between the black seam and the red stuff just above. That will get you what you need, and then keep pausing, and there we go. Now I'm clear of the ledge, and as long as I'm holding the jump button, X will continue going upward. So here we go. Yep, that's the spot where his fist is just below the edge of that ledge. And then we're going to do a little something called pause buffering. You see how I pressed the start button before the game's fully loaded in? If you do that, the game will go back into the pause menu on the next available frame that passes, and that's how we're able to do this really precise trick, even though it is so precise. And of course, speedrunners don't bother buffering the trick at all. They can just pull it off like that. But me, I'm not a speedrunner, so this is what I have to do. Now make sure you have the jump button released by this point. Then press it and bam! There you go. We got it.
Wow, it's all the way up there. That's some interesting collision.
Yeah. It's satisfying as heck to pull off, though, I'll tell you what.
I can definitely see that, especially after trying so many times.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's just 2 units of health, and actually getting to there only takes like 2 minutes, so if you just can't do it, don't be ashamed to just revisit the stage later. Oh, and speaking of health, you see those red cannons? You can farm health from them, if you need to.
Right.
Now, Boomer Kuwanger. He's a pretty simple guy. Just like Chill Penguin, you can basically beat him just by climbing the walls until he's vulnerable. The only way he can hit you is with this extremely telegraphed attack right there. And then while it's off his head, all he can do is sort of dash towards you, and he opens himself up to your level 3 shots, which do 3 blocks of damage, or level 2 shots, which do 2. So, very easy, and what makes it even easier is that once he's below half HP, he spends almost the entire match just sort of teleporting around the room. So, it turns into a timing game. Easy enough.
Right, I can see that. And what is he supposed to be, like an ant?
He's a beetle. Kuwanger is a Japanese term for beetle. It's just the translators, I don't know, they thought Boomerang Beetle was too on the nose, or they just thought Boomer Kuwanger sounded cool. Speaking of cool, here's the expert strat. Just sort of dash into him when the fight starts, and then sort of get him in this stun lock via his AI, because all the bosses, they always start off doing the exact same thing. It's only later that they start getting more random. And then once he goes into the teleport spam phase, you just do that and there you go. Now, if you fail the stun lock at any point, do not try it again, because at that point his AI is randomized and you're better off just doing it the old-fashioned way. But if you can pull that off, it's very good, very clean, and very fast. And even if you're not going for Iceless Heart, you want Boomer before Octo because he's easy, while Launch Octopus is not so easy, even with what's supposed to be his weakness weapon. But the Boomerang Cutter has this special property, well, two of them. First of all, they will grab any health upgrades or anything that they hit and bring them back to you. But the second thing is if you use it on Flame Mammoth or Launch Octopus, it will cut off some of their limbs, and it will disable some of their attacks. And in Launch Octopus's case, it will disable one of his hardest to dodge attacks and just turn him into a complete joke. So even without this trick, you want to get Boomer before Octopus, which means fighting him without his weakness weapon. So, there you go. Any questions, Skyzo?
No, not really. I mean, this whole episode was pretty straightforward. And, I love this outro. Like, it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Anyways, this is Fiona Day Quester signing out. Have a nice day, everyone, and God bless you.
Alright, I'll catch you later, YouTube.
Bye!